welcome to Sarah's Stamping Retreat. Today we're going to be making a waterfall card with this Hippo Happiness Stamp Set. So I'm going to be bringing in my blending brushes again today. Those of you that watch a lot of my videos will know I've used these quite a lot recently, and today we're just going to use them. I'm just going to kind of make a bit of a background with blue at the top and green at the bottom. So I've got balmy blue for my blue, and I've got soft seafoam for my green. I'm just going to start working them onto this paper. So I'm just going to rub that on here, and then I'm going to take it up the page. So it's a very pale colour, so I'm going to keep rubbing quite a lot on. But it's better to have too little than too much to start with, so I'm going to keep testing and then adding a bit more. And this is kind of what I'm going for, like a bit of quite a subtle background. Now I'm going to turn that round, and the reason I'm turning it round is I find it easier to work from this side to this side rather than that side to that side. So I'm just turning it round so that I can put my blue on. So let's rub some of that balmy blue on. So then I'm just going to go in one last time with a bit more green. And then I'm happy with how that looks now. So then that will sit on my soft seafoam card base. Then I'm also going to bring in my scoring board. And I've just got this other piece of soft seafoam cardstock, and it measures 2 inches by 9 inches. And I'm going to score that at 2 inches, at 2 3/4 inches, at 3 1/2 inches, at 4 1/4 inches. So then the next thing I'm going to do is just fold all these score lines. So I'm just going to fold them all like this. And then at the bottom here, so this is the big panel here, and at the bottom I'm just going to cut that corner. I'm going to cut that corner, so you can see I'm using the corner bit there, and then I'm also going to use this bit with the oval in it, and I'm just going to put that in the centre. So I'm just going to move that so I can see that it's like roughly in the centre. I think that looks about right. So I'm going to create some little pictures to go on our waterfall. So I'm going to actually use all of these little creatures here. I'm just going to stamp a little different one onto each of these. So these are 1 3/4 inch squares. I've got 4 of those. And I've got some 2 inch squares of soft seafoam that I'm going to mount them on later. So I'm going to stamp the little sheep first. So the first layer I'm going to do in smoky slate. And then I'm going to do the second layer with basic grey. And if you're a beginner to stamping, then I'm not illustrating the best way to do this, because the easiest way to get a good impression is to have a block that is as close to the size of your stamp as possible. So I have switched down to a smaller block for this face, because that would be quite difficult to get on your to get a nice impression on the big block. But really there is a smaller block than this, and I would have used that if I had it to hand. But I've just got these two to hand, so I'm just playing with these two today. So there's our little sheep, and these layering stamps are a nice way of adding a little bit of colour without having to get your pens out. Right, so let's do this hippo next. So I'm going to use a lot of colours today, but you can just use what you've got to hand. I'm going to use Petal Pink and Blushing Bride for the hippo. So the Petal Pink's the lighter shade, so I'm going to use that on the first layer. Then I'll go with Blushing Bride on the second. And I'm going to use the basic grey for the features on the hippo. You just want to try and line up those cheek bits with the cheek bits on the hippo underneath. Then for the horse, I'm going to use crumb cake for the first layer, and then I'm going to use cinnamon cider on top of that. So here's my crumb cake. Then I'm going to do the top layer of the horse with cinnamon cider. I'm going to grab my black memento ink for his face as well. And again, you can use the nostrils to get the right placement for the face on that one. And then on the final one, I'm going to use the butterfly. I'm going to use Daffodil Delight and Calypso Coral for the butterfly. So I'm going to use Daffodil Delight for the first layer. Do it up here, I think. And then I'll do the Calypso Coral for the top layer. And we've got this teeny tiny face for the butterfly. And then I'm just going to use this little trail pattern. I'm going to do that in the basic grey. And then I think maybe we could do with a second butterfly on there. So I'm just going to add another one just here. And then I'll do him a little trail coming this way. And I'm just going to take my soft seafoam Stampin' Up marker and just put a little bit of a thing around here just to ground it a little bit. I'm going to do that on all of these little creatures. And there are a few little embellishments that we can use as well. So I think I might give the hippo a little bow tie. I'm just doing that in the basic grey. And then I think I might give the little sheep a balloon. So I'm just going to pop the string on there. And then I think I might make the balloon the Daffodil Delight. So he looks cute with his little balloon. And I think that will probably do me for now. So then on here, I'm just going to lift this up, and then I'm going to use the Hippo Birthday to You. Another good trick actually, which I'll show you while we're here, is that you can use your grid paper. You can buy this grid paper, by the way, off the Stampin' Up website. And you can use your grid paper just to line up your sentiments like this. So I can line them up along the lines. And then I can pick them up on here and note they'll be straight. So I'm going to use my basic grey ink for the greeting. So I'm going to pop that in the middle here. And then I've just got a little post-it note here, which I'm just going to cut roughly to the same width as my sentiment. I'm just going to stick that over here a second. I might make it just a slight bit smaller. because I want to put some balloons over the top. So I'm going to do a couple in Daffodil Delight. And then I also want to do one in the Calypso Coral. And then I'm just going to grab the string, but I don't want it to go onto the writing, so I'm just going to pop it over like this. And I can remove this. And I might even just add a little bit at this end as well to make those strings a bit longer. So I'm just extending those strings. There we go. So the next thing I'm going to do is just glue these onto the pieces of soft seafoam cardstock that we cut earlier. So then you want to decide what order you want them in. So I think I want them in this order, which means that I need to glue my hippo onto here. So that's going to be the last one, so that one goes at the bottom. And I'm just going to work my way up. So I only want to put glue on each of the panels. So I'm going to put this one on here, and I'm going to have the horse on next. And you just want to line it up with that score line so that it's just nicely on the score line. And then I'm going to have the butterflies next. And I just want that on there. And then just want this one here. So then I'm just going to take some of our Daffodil Delight ribbon, just going to chop a little bit off. And I'm just going to fold it in two. I'm going to pop that through there, and then I'm just going to pop the ends through this little loop here. So then I've just got a piece of card that is 3/4 of an inch wide and the same width as my mat. I'm just going to glue that over there, and I've only put glue at either end, so that's going to glue across there, and then I'm going to pop that behind it, and then I'm just going to put a bit of glue just in the middle of the panel here. I'm going to make sure this is nice and central so that I've got it just where I want it. So I think I'm happy with that, and then I'm just going to push that down on it. This is going to be what holds our waterfall element in place. So then I'm just going to glue this onto our card. And then that's our card finished. So we can just pull this and we can see all our pictures, and then our cute little hippo birthday to you. And then you can push it back up and they all flip back over again. So that's our card finished today. I really hope you enjoyed making it with me. If you did, I'd really appreciate you clicking like below, and you can also subscribe to my channel to see future projects. If you press the bell button and select all, then YouTube will notify you when I've got a new video available. All of the products that we've used for today's card are listed in the description below, and there's also a host code there. So if you pop my host code into your basket before you check out, then I'll send you a free gift after the end of the month. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you again soon.